Hey yo, what up fight fans? Daniel Compton here. Central Coast Fighting Championships number 3 is coming to the Santa Cruz Civic. February 4th, 2023 is coming right up. I'm right here with Andrew, Toste MMA. He's the man. We're talking shit with Toste today, and we haven't talked to you guys for a while, so we actually have a lot to talk about. Let me run through real quick what I want to talk about. We want to talk about the PKB at Ant Dogs. That shit was sick. We're going to talk about that. We haven't seen you guys since our last show at the Coconut Grove, so we're going to talk about that. Our next show is coming right up, February 4th. My last fight, I haven't talked to you since then, and it's been a while. And then we got Toste's next fight coming up, which is going to be a banger. So we got to talk about all that. Let's get right into it. The PKB at Ant Dogs, dude.
Yeah, that was this last Saturday. It was a crazy event. There was like over 30 fights there, ranging from like younger kids to adults. There was a couple heavyweight fights. There was straight boxing fights. There was kickboxing fights. It was a really exciting show from top to bottom.
It was sick, dude. A lot of guys are going to be competing on my card in the future. People that are going to compete on the same card as you as well, and a lot of people getting ready for that next step in their fighting career, whether that be an amateur Muay Thai fight or MMA. So it was a great event, great experience. You know what I really liked about Ant Dogs? I didn't realize this. You guys have a pro shop right there with like combat corner elbow pads, hybrid MMA pads, GFY gear, all kinds of no-gi stuff, near fall. I didn't realize you guys had that right there.
Yep, we have anything you need to make sure that you're either protected or have the gear you need to go out there and do the events that you need. There was a few guys that came in missing some gear that we were able to provide and keep the show going. It was anything you need is usually at Ant Dogs.
It was sick. Never Scared was there. Never Scared's sponsoring Little Ant now, which is dope. They were over there. I supported them. I dropped off 5 tickets to Never Scared and 5 tickets to Ant Dogs to give away when they had sold over $100 in merch at the PKB. So Never Scared gave away a couple tickets. I think Ant Dogs still has a couple tickets. So if you want to go into Ant Dogs until those tickets are gone, if you spend over $100 in merch at their shop, you'll get a free ticket to the show in February. I want people to come, bro, and I'd like to give back to everyone that's supporting the sport. But Lil Ant has a fight coming up too, yeah?
Yeah, he does. It's in January. It's at the A1 event, Uriah Faber show up in SAC. I think Obadiah Johnson is his opponent. It's going to be a good fight. Anytime Lil Ant is on the card, it's an exciting fight.
Yeah, bro. No, it's going to be sick. He's the future. When your dad's a pro like that and you grow up in it, it's hard not to be like really good.
Yeah. Like no matter where you are in the realm of MMA, like Ant has an answer for whatever you're good. So it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a banger.
Yeah, it's the next generation. Everyone's just so well-rounded. Mm-hmm. It's not like,
you grow up in a kickboxing gym or a boxing gym or a taekwondo or karate. It's sort of like you have to be thrown in the deep end in all aspects.
Yeah, so that fight's going to be sick. Check out A1. We love that show. Our last show at the Coconut Grove, dude, it was sick. You fought. Mm-hmm. How was your fight, bro?
I enjoyed my fight. Shout out to Joey for stepping up on short notice and keeping that fight alive. Anyone from that gym, Castro MMA, is a game opponent. Fought Ramon out of that gym as well. The card top to bottom was really exciting. There was finishes across the board. There were, the fights that went all 3 rounds were exciting the entire fight. Like the Bobby Neo fight was amazing. There was a few hiccups, in the back where Allen didn't get his fight, but in terms of, top to bottom, watching an entire MMA card, it was like 5 hours of action the entire time.
And I don't like to talk down on amateur guys because, you're still learning when you're amateur. What was that guy's name that backed out of Allen's fight? Do you remember?
Well, he was somebody who stepped in, so I never really learned his name on the short notice end. I remember the guy who was supposed to fight who ended up dropping out, but I don't remember the guy who ended up leaving that night. It's a crazy situation, finishing your way in, already been checked through medicals, and, you're sitting back there like 2 hours away from your fight, and you're like, you know what, peace, I'm out of here. It's a crazy situation.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. I'm actually happy that I don't remember his name because it's going to save me from saying something I might regret, about him personally. So we'll just move on from that. But we'll never work with anyone like that again, of course.
Yeah, but otherwise the card was fantastic. There was, finishes across the card. There were great fights across the card. There was even a draw, and that fight was crazy to watch the entire time. Crazy situations where, even like me walking up on that bulldog choke, basically walking the cage and getting thrown across the cage. That was pretty cool. Crazy situations the entire card.
The show was sick.
Yeah.
I was just fucking so impressed with the way you guys performed, and the way Antonio put the matches together. How'd you like the venue?
It was crazy, crazy cool venue. It's not a venue that I've really sort of experienced something like that before, where there was a whole row above, and then like all that side availability where you could like watch the ocean. You had that whole bar area, and then like super open area off to the side where you can just watch the entirety of the fights. Every seat had a table on it. It was really cool.
And I'm going to do it better because I'm going to do way more chairs next time. So it'll be less standing room, more chairs. There'll be a projector in that ocean view room, which seats as well. So I'm going to be able to accommodate more people better, more comfortably. And next time I go there, and the lighting's going to be better. The lighting wasn't horrible, but it could be way better. It'll lead to a better production overall. But the fights were sick. First fights ever at the Coconut Grove. Other people are trying to go there now. Other shows in Santa Cruz want to go to the Coconut Grove, and I've kind of like exposed other people to how sick that venue can be.
Yep.
And the venue's awesome too, man. They called me and they're like, "Hey, like these people are trying to come in here. Are these your people? Like, is it a conflicting brand to yours? We want to show you your respect." And so I think we did it good, bro. Because if the venue's calling like that, then that means we did a good job.
Yeah, and like the video shots were really cool. All like there was a couple shots of like different things that happened in the cage, and then the fighters walking in and out. That sort of like entry tunnel, where like sort of like the walkout tunnel that was going on was really cool. There's different aspects about that place that you don't really get anywhere else.
Yeah, it was sick. I want to go there again. I'll probably only go there because during the summer they don't rent that venue. It's only a winter venue at the boardwalk because usually the boardwalk's pumping.
Yeah,
they don't rent it. So that'll be a winter venue. We're going to try to go back to that one in the winter. But I love the Santa Cruz Civic, and it accommodates way more people comfortably with a seat, and with the view, the way the auditorium comes down. There's not
like everyone has sort of like almost the same perfect view of what's going on inside the cage.
There's not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah.
at that venue, and it accommodates a lot of people. So the Civic is where I kind of want to be our main venue. But the Coconut Grove is so unique that I would love to go back there. The Vets Hall is too small, but I want to go back to the Coconut Grove for sure. At the Civic, we haven't talked about it quite yet, but you're probably going to be commentating.
Yeah, it's an exciting venture for me, being able to like sort of step out of my comfort zone and step into something I've wanted to do for a while. I've sort of dipped my toe into like this podcasting thing. Shout out to Story of the Fight. They've given me a couple opportunities to, go out there and sort of talk about fights in a way that, usually you only get to talk about with your friends, your homies, like me and you sort of talk about. So it's going to be really cool to be able to sit there and sort of, expose everybody around you who doesn't really know what's going on in the scene to like, hey, this is the intricacy of why this person's fighting this person and why they feel this way or where they're coming from. Just watching a person in the cage, you don't get the full backstory of what's going on. And I want to be able to show everybody the respect of, telling their story, because everybody in that cage has a reason for being there.
I think you're going to do a great job, and that's really kind of why I wanted you in that position. But, talk to us. You are a champion at 145. Talk to us about why you're not fighting on this card and what you have coming up.
So, I have had a tendency to double book a lot of my fights. The last 12 months, I had 8 fights within a 12-month span. I think it was like technically a 10.5-month span. So we're trying to cut down on that a little bit as we're moving into doing the professional stuff. So while I have the opportunity, or have had the opportunity to go back out there and defend my belt, my coach, and after conversing with me and everybody on the team, it's sort of been the choice of the team as well as myself to go out and try to claim another belt from another organization. I have a fight coming up that's booked for West Coast Elites out in Milpitas, San Jose. That same month, it's just at the end of the month, should be February 25th. So we're looking to go do that gives me an opportunity to sort of dip my toes in the other realms of the fighting world, commentating, stuff like that.
Their show is super sick. Joe's show is awesome, and also too, Joe stopped doing MMA for a minute because Antog's always fought on Joe's show.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? He had you guys for a long time. He had stopped doing MMA.
Little Ant also fought on that show as well.
Yeah, you guys have been on that one, you know, and so it was sick that he was only doing Muay Thai for a second because I was actually able to get all your MMA guys, you know. But in all fairness, Joe's been doing a lot longer than I have, and you know, we all try. It's good. It's good that he has you guys, you know, and then Antox is also giving me a couple MMA guys too, you know, so they're taking care of me.
Sharing the wealth. I mean, Joe was, I think they helped put together the whole Alta fighting promotion that happened a couple months back, where they took the Alta programs from the Rat Pack, they took the Alta program from CSA, and they took the Alta program from Cormier's gym and sort of put them all together and got them all their own like card focused on all of them, and it was a really cool event. Michael Johnson was there, Gilman Melendez was there, of course, Jessica Rose Clark, DC, Duran Wynn. It was really cool seeing like all of these people kind of come together and sort of bring MMA into the fold of people who kind of like, you know, hadn't had an opportunity to train their whole lives in those aspects.
That show was super sick, and I can't believe I missed it. And I'm gonna go to the next one. It was on a Sunday, right? Or it
was different than most other fights. Most of the cards are like on a Saturday. It was on a Sunday. It was a little different, but you know the whole, you know, organization was sort of like built on being a little bit different. So it was pretty cool.
I can't believe I missed it. No, because the pictures are just absolutely amazing. And for that to be an amateur MMA show right here in the area with all of those high-level guys, coaches there.
Yep.
And then the guys fought their hearts out, you know, because
yeah, every fight was a banger too. It was crazy how these people came in and like they fought as if like they were fighting for titles. It was crazy.
Yeah. Life or death in there, bro.
Yeah.
That's how it feels, you know, sometimes. And you gotta go in there and get it, man. You know, Team Smash is a big contributor to Joe's show as well because he does Muay Thai, and so my gym is a big contributor to that show. And I'm stoked you're going to fight for that one. I'll be there supporting you, and I'm excited, you know, and I'm also excited for you to commentate on this next show. Speaking of which, it's coming right up, and I want to talk about a couple of the matchups. You know, we actually have more matchups that I'm going to talk about, and I'll talk about your guys' matchup when it gets there. But actually, let's talk about this one right away. 175-pound title. Unfortunately, Jacob Horton had to sit this one out, and so it's all good though. But we're going to do a new 175-pound title, and he can fight one of these guys when he comes back. But it's going to be Trey Jordan Sovarda making his 170-pound debut. He's 4-1 at 185, but he wants to pro debut at 155, so he's dropping to 170. He fought Ash on the last show. I don't know if you remember. You remember Trey Jordan?
Yeah, I do. Coming from Ohio, I believe. He actually just fought. Believe it was SF Combat. Couple weeks ago, I think it was like the 10th, won a title over there. Now he's coming over here trying to win a title over at your spot. That guy comes to bang like every single time. He in the back, he's super focused, you know, throws bombs, goes out there and willing to make any fight a grind. It's really, really good to see.
And you know what's unique about him is the Outlaw Jiu-Jitsu has his Jiu-Jitsu sick right now. Ronald, I went over and I rolled with those guys. My elbow still hurts. That's why I'm rubbing it. I'm trying to see if it's like still bad because Trey Jordan like fucking triangle armbarred me. And I don't know if you've seen his fights. He throws triangles in his fights and throws shit off his back. That's sick. So Trey Jordan, he's a very worthy opponent. But Edmund Kwan is a savage too, dude. He's 4-0 undefeated. He's training at AKA right now, so I'm actually getting a chance to see him train. We're in a strength program with Theo Haig right now too at AKA, and Antonio just sent me this matchup today, and I was just like, ooh wee, this is gonna be a sick one.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that comes out of AKA knows how to fight. Even the fight where the one fight between Ant Dogs and AKA at your last card, Ignacio and Alexander Lee, was a crazy fight the whole time. Fucking just throwing bombs the whole time between the both of them. So I can only imagine, you know, 4-0, 4-1, both going for a title. Like they're both gonna want to be banging the whole time.
I'm excited for that one, dude. Ignacio versus Alex too. They were just two big ass dudes, bro.
Yeah, and it's like they both sort of did that thing that I can't remember who it was in the UFC. Kevin Holland and Wonderboy Thompson, where they both like, we don't need to do any wrestling here, guys. Let's just go in there and just throw punches at each other's face.
Straight haymakers,
yeah.
too. Yeah, that was a fun one. I'm excited for this 125-pound fight. It's Francisco Guana. He beat Bobby Noe in the last show. It was a dope fight. Bobby Noe's a savage.
Like I mentioned it earlier, that fight was insane. It was like scramble after scramble after scramble. You could have eaten an egg after that.
That's why I got him commentating, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because he got the dad jokes and everything.
Corny as fuck, bro.
And against Tim Gutierrez. Tim Gutierrez, he's 5-1. He's a dynamic MMA. Shane Torres out of Watsonville, he's the one who said that this guy was available, and we're potentially going to be able to put a state title on that one. So it's not confirmed, so I shouldn't even have said it, but we're trying hard to get a state title on this 125-pound matchup.
I mean, from what Camo says, I'm not a big fan of Camo's rankings, but from what Camo says, I mean, he is the 6th ranked person in the state. So if you're going to throw a state title on somebody, 3-0, 5-1, that looks like a good matchup for me.
If he's 6, like, who's won? Like, I don't understand those rankings.
You're preaching to the choir here. I've never been a big fan of either Tapology or Camo's ranking system. But, you know, it is what it is. They rank who they think are the top people in the state. And, you know, if we're going by the people who are going to be giving us our state titles, they do think that he is top 10. So it makes sense.
All right, well, then, yeah, he's top 10. Reno Ibarra. He's a 135-pound fighter. He came on the show and he choked out Toshi Miyatsu. Do you remember that fight?
I do remember that fight. Yeah, I believe that he was the one that like sort of put out his hand to touch the gloves, and that didn't really go the way most people would think it would go, and the crowd sort of went against him as sort of like his villain origin story there.
I loved it though, because dude, I'm always getting booed. So
you were definitely getting booed at your last fight.
Yeah, oh shit. I think we'll talk about that one, dude. I'm always getting booed, so it was fun that I wasn't the only one that gets booed, you know. And dude, I mean, fuck, it sells tickets. He's a savage. He's like a kid prodigy. But Giovanni, say his last name for me. You say Giovanni's last name?
Encarnacion.
Yeah, Encarnacion. He fought Jacob On, one of my teammates, Jacob On. He is sick, bro. That fight right there, they're both 21. Reno out of Flavio Myers, Team Gorilla for Giovanni, and I hope neither one of them gets hurt, bro, because that's just going to be fucking sick.
Yeah, well, you know, as long as he doesn't pretend to touch gloves, I think we'll be in for a good one. Otherwise, someone's going to get mad and just start throwing punches hard.
Well, so I interviewed Reno today, and it's out there where he's not touching gloves, you know? And so now, like, if you fall for a fake glove touch or like...
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, like he's not touching gloves, dog. So now the opponent knows he's not touching. And I had told Reno today when I talked to him, and I was like, hey, bro, because I had caught some flack for that too. Same thing that he had, you know, because sometimes I wouldn't touch and sometimes I wouldn't, and it'll all be like however I felt that day, to be honest. And then, or however the opponent made me feel, you know. And then finally I decided if I'm not going to touch, which I don't touch sometimes still, I tell the dude, hey, bro, I'm not touching gloves. And then he'll be like, yeah, for sure, respect. And I'm like, yeah. But then I swear, it's a part of the mind games. Because then they immediately start thinking, I wonder, why doesn't this guy want to touch gloves? Is he pissed? Like, does he want to run up and throw a flying knee?
Yeah, I mean, there's fighters out there that love to do the mind games. I mean, when Raul had me scheduled to fight him, that morning he was sending me little messages on Instagram. So, you know, people play mind games differently every single time. So it's just a matter of, like, staying focused.
100%. And the mind games work best if you also train for the fight.
Yeah, a little bit.
If you play the mind games without training, like...
Usually blows up in your face.
Yeah, you're usually going to get choked out in front of your friends and family and shit. It's going to be a sad day. We have Brandon Villalobos. My bad, Brandon. My bad, dog.
Villalobos?
Yeah, bro. I've been talking with you for a while. I've been texting you and shit. You're a cool dude, bro. Against Vincent Rave. Vincent Rave is coming from the Fiera Family Fighting Academy. They're coming from way, way up north. And Vincent had a great fight on the last show. He fought, Garrett Francis. And Garrett had a great showing. And it was a good fight, you know, for those big dogs. But Brandon's down, dude. And I'm excited for that fight, dude. Do you remember Vincent?
I don't remember him in particular. There was a lot of us in the back were actually watching a lot of the fights. We threw them up on our phone because it was live streamed. Shout out, one of the few cards that actually live streams their events the whole time that the event's going on, instead of making you pay for the entire thing, like either afterwards or, you know, not getting it at all. But we were watching it a lot in the back, but I just happened to start watching it like right after that like middle of the card, which was where he was at.
Yeah.
But from what I heard afterwards, it was a great fight. Like I said, there weren't a lot of just sort of snoozers on that card.
I don't think these guys know how to have the dude. You guys are savages, bro. Like the kids nowadays, I don't know what happened, bro. Like, or maybe Antonio's just not messing with them. But on the day, like someone would show up, someone wouldn't. A lot of the times, I don't know if it's mismatches. Now, dude, it's like everybody's come and like they're fighting their hearts out, bro.
I think what it is everyone's sort of realizing it's sort of like one of those any given Sunday sort of things where it doesn't matter who you're fighting, whether or not they're number 1 ranked guy and whatever, or the number 100 ranked guy and whatever. Like, as long as you show up and you do your game plan, you show up and want to fight, you can beat anybody. It's just a matter of who shows up that night.
And I think they're seeing how many opportunities that you're having as your pro now, bro. Like, there's so many promotions popping up. Like, my last 4 fights were on UFC Fight Pass. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're getting opportunities to get out there and create content that. So, you know, I'm a stoner, of course, so I think about weird shit all the time, you know. But fuck, bro, when we think about like our great grandpa, you know, our great grandpa might have been a great fighter or boxer. You know what I'm saying? And that might be why we are the man that we are today, you know, or the fighter, you know. But society wasn't creating the content back then, so it's not like we can go up and watch a great grandpa's fights.
Yeah,
you know?
unless you were like in a fucking circus fighting like who's the strong man of fucking whatever county you were in, like.
You know what I'm saying?
The market wasn't there for back then.
Yeah. Now, 3 generations from now, if the kid that comes out a fighter, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? Your great-great-granddad, Daniel Compton, he was a fucking savage.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah.
And then kids going to be like, oh, that was great-granddaddy on UFC Fight Pass, fucking Kimura and shit. And like, so I know, you know, I'm trying to get paid, bro, but I'm also, and I'm not making no money yet. But, bro, we're building fucking a legacy for our kids, so they can go back and look to see why they are as savage as they are.
Yep. Or the kids that train below you, like at the kids class or whatever, and they look up, they're like, oh, Daniel, Toste, they're the ones going out there and getting these big moments that I'm watching with all my friends online at school or before class or after class or whatever like that. So, like, whether or not you're going out there and influencing who you care about, there's somebody out there that probably cares about what you're doing nowadays.
Yeah, bro. So the kids are fighting their hearts out, bro. We have a couple more fights that I want to talk about on the next show. Just 2 more, dude. I have more fights in this, guys. I have a bunch of fights, but there's 2 more that are going to be big. They're going to be the main or maybe co-main, except unless I get that Camo state title. If I get the state title, that'll be the main event. But Joe Thoreau versus Jeremy Titsworth is going to be just the fucking sickest fight ever. And I'm paying close attention to this fight, because you guys are both in my weight class and you're both scary. You know what I'm saying? And I know they're coming for me, dog.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Thoreau has been a monster every time I see him. Well, he's a monster in the cage. He's like one of the nicest people outside of it. Like, he's a super chill dude. But when he goes in there and he fights, it's a war every single time, regardless of whether or not it's a one-sided war or not. Like, he goes out there and he's chonking them every single time. And from what I've seen, I haven't seen Titsworth in person, but like from the videos of his fights that are out there, like, again, unless like there's some sort of domination within like 20, 30 seconds, that fight is like it's going to be gnarly the entire time.
I can't even tell them apart, to be honest. I didn't know who was who and shit. It's like we cloned Joe to make fucking Jeremy, and so they're going to bang it out, bro.
You're not wrong, bro. They're both giant human beings.
Yeah. And I mean, Joe brings it every time he fights. Joe brings it every time he spars, dog. I go over there and spar Joe. I got a concussion and shit. Like, I'm excited that I was able to get so many fights in my pro career, so that it's going to take these kids a couple years to catch up, because I don't want to see these kids. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, like I said, Joe's an intimidating dude. He's a nice guy, but he's an intimidating dude.
He's fought at 70 before, I think, bro. I debuted, so I fought Tony Charles on a card with him way back. He's been fighting for a long time, because I fought on the same card with him back when I was an amateur. Swear to God, dude. And it was like my second amateur fight. I think it might have been his debut. It was at the San Jose Expo, and he fought at 170. He fought a guy at the AKA, and he's been a savage ever since. And then Titsworth, he's as game as they come, bro, and he's excited, dude, and he wants his strap. He wants to take Joe's strap from him. I'm sure Joe doesn't like that, and they're going to have to meet head-to-head in the cage.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, as soon as he got that belt, he was very attached to it, so I don't see him letting go of it very easily.
Yeah, that's going to be a sick one. This next one, just because it's a hometown guy that I'm working with and another guy from my team. So, dude, I do this, and I don't know why I'm a bad promoter, bro, but I put my team versus my team. I do all the time. You know, I've done Smash versus Jiu-Jitsu Therapy when I was over there. I'm on AKA now. I'm doing it, and then Lorenzo Figueroa, he's on Smash and Jiu-Jitsu Therapy. He's taking on O'Brien Younger, who's fighting out of AKA now. So I wouldn't have given O'Brien this opportunity if I didn't think that he was game. And Lorenzo's putting up the heavyweight title, and they're fighting for the vacant cruiserweight belt. So there are 2 belts on the line in this heavyweight affair.
I mean, yeah, like you were saying, like you wouldn't see somebody who's coming in zero without it, like as his debut fight, going in there if you didn't already know that they had the ability to go in there and put on a great performance. Lorenzo is, again, if you want to believe what Camo says, he's the number 1 guy in the state. I definitely think he's talented enough to be the number 1 guy in the state. I just don't agree with most of the things that Camo says.
He's the number 1 right now.
That's what I'm saying. Lorenzo's a fantastic fighter. One of the fights I saw him fight, he fought Alejandro, who's also slated to be on the card. Alejandro was a beast on the ground, and Lorenzo went out there and just he dominated where he dictated every position that the fight was going to take place in. And if you can dictate where a fight goes, you have almost an insurmountable advantage over whoever it is you're fighting. So if Lorenzo can go out there and do the same thing against somebody who has top tier coaching at AKA, like the sky's the limit for him.
You should see Younger's PKBs, bro. He literally walks out, he crawls out like Anderson Silva, like the spider. You know what I'm saying? Don't laugh. I'm not. Yeah, and then he fucking and he brings a show, dog. Like, it's exciting. He's homies with those Tonga fools that sparred your homie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are all homies. It's that's his little cousin, the homie's little cousin that sparred your dude yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And so, bro, I'm telling you, that giant uppercut hook and shit, bro, they have exciting moves. They're super athletic. They're dense. They're dense human beings, bro. And
those are great guys, by the way.
It's going to be a banger. Because Lorenzo, although he's a white belt, bro, he can grapple, but he likes to strike.
I mean, colors mean some things, but they don't mean everything.
I guess you're a white belt, too.
I know. I mean, I'm officially a white belt, and I definitely, I got a rear naked choke on a black belt for my first title. So, again, belts mean some things, but they don't mean everything. A black belt is just a white belt that showed up every single day.
Yeah. And, and ever since you got that black belt, I've actually started training under you. So I'm actually under Team Toste.
Maybe you'll get your blue soon.
Yeah, I appreciate you, dog. Yeah, keep me in mind, you know what I'm saying?
Always.
How much is it to get promoted?
How much? We'll talk about that later.
Okay, sick, dude. A couple $100, nothing. Each stripe is like $300, but you earned it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The scheme looks a little bit pyramid-y, but don't call it a pyramid scheme, don't.
So, my last fight, bro.
That was an exciting night. When it takes a lot for me to tune in for one specific fight, and I definitely paid the $10 for the one night of Fight Pass for that one specific fight. Me and my family are watching I think I sent you the video.
Yeah.
Going just screaming our lungs out for that entire fight. There was a lot of blood. There was a lot of excitement. Being on Fight Pass, having the opportunity to be in front of so many people, I can only imagine the adrenaline running through you the whole time, and then all the excitement that happened afterwards in the fight. It's crazy night.
I just had so much fun, dude. And, I hollered at the commentators and I had them shout out the show. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I'm promoting the show, shout it out. Although the commentators always hate on me.
Dude, they were hating on you a lot that night.
And no, fuck them, bro. That one fat fuck. Who's that fat fuck's name, bro?
I don't ever remember his name, but I remember him as the guy that...
John Morgan or something, right?
John Morgan. I remember him as the guy that Colby likes to tell to do push-ups.
That's what I was about to say right this fucking second, bro. When Colby Covington... I swear to God, when Colby Covington told this fool, hey, I'll answer your question...
If you do push-ups.
You drop down and give me 10 push-ups. 10 push-ups, motherfucker. I'll answer your question. You know what I'm saying? And then this fool was like, oh, well, Colby, I don't know if I can do it. And Colby's like, no, motherfucker, I think I was playing. Give me 10 push-ups and I'll answer your question. Which isn't that bad of a fucking, if you're going to be a reporter asking stupid fucking questions, Colby asked for 10 push-ups, homie. And then this motherfucker, this fat fuck that want to talk shit on me, fat piece of shit. Oh, well, Colby, I had a one lung removed, so I only have one lung, so I think 10 push-ups might be a little bit, and Colby's like, well, you guys should at least try. At least try. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with trying, homie.
Nothing wrong with trying.
You get 3 push-ups, bro. Colby will answer your question. Colby comes, he'll answer, and then this fucker couldn't even attempt 1 push-up, and that's when I lost all respect for him. And so,
definitely wasn't when he started talking smack about you, though.
No, I didn't. No, that's when I lost all respect for him, when he wouldn't do those push-ups. And then when he started talking shit on me on the broadcast, I was just like, oh, yeah, that's right. I already fucking don't like you. So that makes sense that you'd be a piece of shit right now. And then I'm on UFC Fight Pass. They're fighting right now, dude. So I have a couple teammates fighting right now, but I thought they were fighting on Friday because it's like either Friday or Sunday. And he was fucking commentating, and so I had to watch this. I was watching the wrong show, thinking my teammates were about to fight, and he was one of the fucking commentators. Him and CM Punk. It was for Cage Fury FC in fucking Texas. And I swear to God, some fool fucking beats the dude up, jumps over the cage. He's in the fucking crowd, and that fool's like, oh, he's doing his best Jose Aldo impression, and he just gasses them up the whole time. I was like, you motherfucker, how are you gonna gas this fool up the whole time? Talk all that shit on me.
Also, Vegas was a little scared. I don't know what. Like immediately, they were like, "We're shutting down the event. We're shutting down the event. Get everybody out of the building." I don't know about that. I mean, nobody was doing too much craziness. Like I'm sure they got all mad about it, but it's not like you were in the crowd or anything like that. You walked down the little aisle, and then came right back. It wasn't that big a deal.
Homie, it was just so much fun, bro.
Yeah. Also, like the big thing is like. Dana, the UFC, they all like to get mad about like, oh, the bus thing and Khabib jumping the fence. That was like the worst thing that could ever have happened in the UFC history, blah, 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 blah. But yet they use it at every promo they can.
They love it.
It puts butts in seats for a reason.
And, so shout out to Maki. It was a good fight.
That was a great fight. Maki put up a banger.
I don't want to talk no shit, bro, about my performance, right? Because this fool's already made a zillion excuses as to why he should have won, and I got lucky, And then I legitimately feel, Andrew, that he got lucky because I had gone, but I'm going to say it. I had a shitty fucking fight week, you know what I'm saying? I had the best camp of my life at AKA. It really was. It was the best camp of my life. And that's why regardless of how the fight week would have gone, I didn't give a fuck because it was the best camp of my life. And I've taken fights with no camp. When I went out to fucking Miami, no camp, you know? So I was like,
my state title fight, I had literally to train in my front yard. So, I mean.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like, we don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't my best week, and it was a 5-round fight. So I know this is going to sound weird, dog. I hadn't really started, like, turning it on yet, bro. I was going to make sure I was going to last, and then I was going to turn it the fuck on. Homie, that fool he wasn't that raw, bro. I wasn't going to, like, spaz the fuck out and gas out, trying to get out from the bottom, unless he had put me in crazy danger. And then I would have got the fuck up, bro. But I really didn't feel like I was in danger. The longer the fight went, I knew he was going to be less and less explosive. And I was just like, I was like, fuck yeah,
There was definitely no explosion or strength in that when you got that Kimura and like stepped up like that, there was like, he had nothing. Like he had no energy to stop it or anything like that. I do got to say, one of the funniest things I've ever seen live happen in a fight, when you ask the ref, hey, is this a 5-round fight? Like, is this 5 rounds?
Who and why did you think I asked that? No, tell me. Why did you think that?
No.
Why do you think I said that like that?
Because
John Fat fucking Morgan's fat ass was like, oh, what just happened? Did he just ask if it was a fight? No, motherfucker. That's not what happened. So what happened was, homie, it'd been a 5-round fight, bro. Come on, dog.
I kind of thought you knew it.
It was my world title fight, bro. Like, I knew how many fucking rounds the fight was, dog. I had just lost the first 2. You watched?
Yeah.
I just lost the first 2. We're going into the 3rd round, and the referee is like, okay, guys, 3rd and final round. And I was like, whoa, no, dog, it's 5 rounds. And he's like, what? I was like, it's 5 rounds, dog. And then he was like, oh, wait, you're right, 5 rounds. Yeah, bro. And then Maki's like, oh, he wasn't focused. It's like, motherfucker, you tried to steal they were trying to, come on, dog. They brought me out to lose. I'm a huge underdog. They're paying me fucking nothing, and literally nothing. It's like a charity fight. They're paying me nothing, and then they're going to take away 2 of my rounds after I just lost the first 2, bro. I couldn't even believe it. So that's why when I should have tore his shoulder off because he's fucking talking shit like a little bitch. I should have tore your shoulder. Should have tore it, didn't tear it. And that's it, bro. And those fuckers, homie, they stacked all the cards against me, dog.
They stacked them against you the last guy too, but you know, you can only stack the cards so high, stack the deck so high, and still doesn't seem to help him.
So I got fined. You did? I haven't told you that yet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I did. It already happened. I took the plea, dog, because I would have had to have hired an attorney to fight it.
Yeah,
so
out in an area where you don't live.
Out there in Vegas,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I took the plea deal. They offered me 6 months suspension and my whole purse. Yeah, I took it. So, and then I got to pay their attorney. So so that fight cost me a couple $100. I'd pay a couple $100 to tap out Maki Patolo any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay more than that. I'll pay a couple $1,000 if I could just fucking wrench on Maki's arm, squeeze his little weak broken hand, a little crybaby broken hand and shit. I'd love to do that, you know? So I'll pay to do that any day of the week, bro. And then get that content, priceless content.
Priceless content.
So my bad, you got me a little worked up and shit.
I don't think I did much there.
No, bro, you did, homie. You're like, oh, you didn't know how many rounds it was. And I'm telling you, because that's what most people think, dog. They're like, oh, you didn't know how many rounds your fight was? And they just, bro, every fight, my last 5 fights, they've brought me in to lose. They fucking talk shit on me, and they just try to make me look like a fucking piece of shit, like I suck, like I can't fight. And I'm finally fed up with it, you know what I'm saying? And my performances are gonna be better, dude. I'm not gonna let people win any rounds. I'm not gonna let you win any rounds, guys. From this point moving forward, like, you're not gonna win another round on me. You're gonna get cut, you're gonna get bloodied, you're gonna get finished.
There was a lot of blood in that last one.
Everyone's gonna bleed, dog. I'm like Tony Ferguson now, bro. I'm the boogeyman, bro. Like, everyone's gonna bleed, homie. Like, and that's all there is to it. Everyone's gonna get it. And if you fuck with Andrew, you're gonna fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's getting it. I think this shit went well.
Strap season.
We've pretty much talked about everything we wanted to talk about. Was there anything else?
I think we've went through most of everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sponsors or anything?
You know, Center's been really good to us, really good to me. You know, anytime I hit them up, they're constantly out here giving me stuff, making sure that I have enough to you know, hand out to my teammates when they want it and stuff like that. I had my little D&D session today, and fucking everyone had one of these, mixing it with their drinks. We got Pour Me Tap Room out of Gilroy. One of my friends, Matt Gallion, he's the owner of the shop. They're still working on getting their grand opening up, but they're always supporting me. Cal Silk out of Gilroy, Ant Dogs MMA, of course. You know, they're the GFY, always supporting just about every person out here in the Bay Area. Yep. You know, same sponsors that we had last time, but still always looking for more.
Dope. Never Scared. I can't remember if I said them. Never Scared.
Yeah, thanks for them for sponsoring Little Ant as well. I think they're working on getting Alan in there as well. You know, just always working on getting, you know, the best guys from this little Santa Cruz, Gilroy area out there.
Yeah, they're sick, bro. Smash Fighter, appreciate you guys. Sidey Far Right Construction, Crumb Concrete, Veganism, CMOS. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. We appreciate you guys. February 4th at the Santa Cruz Civic. Give me the date for yours.
February 25th at the Milpitas, India.
No, it's not. You're saying the wrong venue. It's at the something sports, Metro City Sportsplex in Fremont.
Oh, they
right?
have it They had it listed before at the place for Alta. So yes, you're correct.
Yeah, it's in Fremont, right?
Yeah, it is in Fremont. Yeah.
Check out Toste in Fremont. We'll be in Santa Cruz. Hit up the fighters for tickets. It's the best way to do it. You can get my tickets also for my show at santacruztickets.com. And thank you guys. We'll see you guys out there.
See ya.